Hi, everybody. So excited to be here. I have a lot to say about how to just really blow your business up and take things beyond one-on-one coaching and services and expand your business into group programs, workshops, retreats, all of that. And that's really where you're actually going to see your business start to move into those higher cash months. So any of the people that you see who are talking about working less, playing more, having more pleasure in their business, having those 10, 15, 20 and higher K cash months, they have multiple ways for you to work with them. They are not only doing one-on-one coaching, they are doing lots of different things. So usually people who are at that level, they have probably courses, they have workshops, they are doing multiple group programs throughout the year, and just lots of different ways to work with them. And that is really where you're going to start to see your income explode. You're going to be able to reach more people without having to spend more time coaching and working and doing all of the things, because we know that one-on-one coaching is limiting, right? You only have so many hours in the day and you only want to be working so much. And so group programs and any sort of one to many, so you to many people, is really going to benefit you and allow you to reach more people at a lower price point, and just really start to stack those payment plans. And so I'll talk to you in a little bit about what that can look like and what that means. But I just want to talk to you about this conversation. Really is for the coach or service provider who has learned how to sell their one-on-one. They've created a baseline of income. So anybody who's coming into, and the doors to the mastermind are still open. And so they close on Friday, but there's the two different pods. So anybody who's coming into the essential pod, which is for those who are making 0 to 5K cash every month, or, skipping around in there, right? So usually those people have up and down income. They're still learning how to sell their one-on-one. They are learning the messaging. They're probably raising their rates multiple times, right? Like as they're building their chops as a coach and as a service provider, they're figuring out how they want to be working with people and what they want this to look like. And so the people who are typically at that level, pre 5K cash months, they have more one-on-one clients. And that is my recommendation for anybody who's coming into the essential pod, or anybody who's coming in to work with me, is let's figure out your one-on-one program and really dial that in, dial in the messaging, build your confidence in your pricing, and really start to know who you're talking to, how to position yourself, and how to get you in front of the people who are interested in what you're selling and who are ready to buy, because those are different people oftentimes, right? So we want to have we want to have them on the same page and ready to invest. And so that's a different conversation than what I'm going to have with you today. So the conversation that I want to be having, and if you're at that level, pay attention, like don't go away, right? But this is really geared towards the person, the coach or the service provider, who has learned how to sell their one-on-one. They've created a baseline revenue coming in from their one-on-one, and they're ready to start building their business model out and really start to look at, how can I have more of an impact? How can I reach more people and increase my profit, increase my revenue, but not have to work all the time? And that's going to happen through group programs. So really rely, or, different ways. And we're going to talk about that. So really relying solely on your one-on-one coaching really presents lots of challenges and limitations. And so it serves its purpose at the time when you're just getting started and you're getting that baseline 5K cash, right? But once you get to that point and you're ready to grow, when you're only doing one-on-one, so obviously there's limited time and scalability. So you just don't have that much time in your day. And when you're doing the one-on-ones, you really want to be, and as you're building your business, right? Like you really want to be thinking it, just because there's 5 work days in the week doesn't mean that you have to work 5 days a week. Just because you used to work 8+ hours in your old job doesn't mean that you have to be working like that. And I do not recommend any of my clients work 8 hours or have 8 hours of calls. This shit is exhausting. We're holding a lot, we're carrying a lot, especially if you're doing deeper healing work. You need time in your day to relax, to recharge, to get grounded. Maybe you need to take a nap. You might have kids. There's like just so much, right? So if you start to think about, I only want to have maybe 3 hours where I'm talking to clients a day, and I only want to be working 3 days a week, that's 9 client hours a week. Having 9 one-on-one clients as well is a lot. That is a large client load, in my opinion. And so what starts to happen when you raise your one-on-one rates, or when you start to bring in group programs, is your one-on-one rates can increase. And then the next level of service that your client has access to is at a lower price point, right? So then you are charging more. It's a higher ticket offer for your one-on-one, and you need fewer people to have the baseline. And then pretty soon your baseline starts to get higher with your one-on-one, because if we're charging $500 a month and you need this many clients to hit your income goals. Now, if you're charging $1,000 a month, then you only need this many clients to reach your income goals, right? And so you get to decide what that looks like and what your capacity is. Maybe 9 clients sounds totally fucking amazing to you, and that feels really good. And that's your jam, right? You get to make those decisions. That does not work for me. So when I was looking at, okay, I want to have $8,000 just from one-on-one coaching, so that I know that for the next 6 months to a year, because a lot of my clients sign on for the year, I have a baseline of $8,000. Then anything on top of that is going to be icing on the cake, right? So that's how we're having these higher cash months. But when you only have one-on-one, your time is not, you don't have an abundance of it. And so we really want to be taking this into consideration. So when you only have one-on-one coaching and one-on-one programs, and maybe it's like VIP, and like you could do like VIP days and intensives, but those are going to be like quick cash injections. They're not going to be like longer term payment plans or anything like that. So it really does restrict your income potential and makes it very difficult to scale your business. Also, depending solely on your one-on-one coaching for income really puts you at a risk for income fluctuations and having things go right, like that roller coaster that so many people are on when they're first starting, or when they're trying to level out and scale into those higher months. So if a client cancels or they don't renew, and also depending on how long your one-on-one coaching is, I always recommend my clients have at least a 6-month one-on-one program, because my goal for all of you is that you have consistent, predictable, stable, steady income. And if you are doing 3-month programs, one-on-one coaching, your renewal conversation is happening 6 weeks in, and you haven't even like built the trust, really. You haven't built that intimacy with your client, and you're already asking them to renew. So when you have a 6-month program, you can breathe a little bit easier. It allows you to predict your income, and you can relax for a little bit. And also, when you only have the one-on-one clients, let's say you have the 6-month program and your clients don't renew. One thing that I see, and this has happened to me too, is sometimes we get like an influx of one-on-one clients, which means that we're onboarding the clients at the same time. And if none of them renew or most of them don't renew, right? Like that is going to be a dip in income. And this can happen in group programs too. I just had this happen in the mastermind where out of, I don't know, 10, 9, 11 people, only 2 people renewed, right? So my income dipped once those payments came in. But I have one-on-one clients and I have payments coming in from Anti-Hustle Business School and still some payments from Ignite. So this is what I mean by having diversified your business model allows you to bring in that additional income to cushion that a little bit, right? So another thing too, like if you're only doing one-on-one, is that you have a really limited reach and impact. So obviously it's one-to-one and you're not able to sit with as many people during a group, like than you would with a group program. And it's also a very real thing that people maybe are unable to invest at your higher ticket offer, right? And so when you have group programs, when you have these workshops, and you have different ways to access your services, you're just able to support so many more people, and people that may have missed out on working with you because you only offered one-on-one. I will say this, if you are still launching your one-on-one, if you're in the 0 to 5K range, don't think that this means that you need to hurry up and get your group program together. It means that you just really need to, and if you're not at a stable income yet, you really need to dial in your one-on-one, learn how to sell it. Because if you can sell your one-on-one, that is a higher ticket offer, right? Like it's a higher price point. And so if you can get really good at talking to people about your work at that price point, you're going to be able, let's say like my one-on-one coaching is depending on which one you sign up for. If it's like 12 months or 6 months, it's like $2,000 for 12 months or $2,500 for 6 months. If I can sell the shit out of that, I can sell a 4-month program that's $2,000 and I have 12-month payment plans. So you see how it just opens this work up to so many more people, right? Of course, there's going to be people who are unable to invest at the $2,000 a month mark, but I have this program that is $125 a month. You still get coaching, you get time with me, you get access to the portal, right? So like, this is really a great way to just reach more people and be able to give your audience more access to you. So there's lots of different reasons why only having one-on-one is really confining. And when you're ready to move into this next level of business and really start to stack your payment plans, this is where things start to change in your business. So you have a much bigger reach and impact. You are able to really diversify your income stream. You can talk about a lot of different things. You can pay attention to what your clients in one-on-one are asking about and where you're seeing gaps in the industry. And then you can create group programs or workshops or different offers based on what you've learned from your one-on-one clients. So this is also why I recommend to all of my clients, start with one-on-one, because we want you to bring that money in. I want you to be able to support yourself. And if you want to leave your job, or if that's something that's on the agenda, we need you to be bringing in predictable, stable income, right? And so you're going to be able to do that with one-on-one because you just need 3 clients, right? At the higher price point, then you need 20 people in order to make that money in a group program. Do you see how? And especially if you're starting out and you might not have the 20 people in your audience yet. And so the reason I have everybody start with one-on-one is because you are going to learn so much information about what you can offer as a group. So Anti-Hustle Business School came out of the work that I was doing. And I had 13 one-on-one clients at one time because I wasn't charging enough. I think I was only charging like, I don't know, $400 or $500 a month. And it was wild having that many clients, like very stressful. Raise my rates, need fewer clients. And what I did was I started to pay attention to what are the questions that my one-on-one clients are asking. What are the themes? So I want you to start thinking about this and paying attention. If you're ready to start adding in groups, start paying attention to what your one-on-one clients are asking. Write it down, create a spreadsheet if you want to. Keep track of their coaching requests. This is a great opportunity for you to like do market research while you're getting paid. We never want to be launching something from the place of, oh, I should have a group program, or Shannon said that if I want to scale my business, I should have a group program. So I'm just going to sit here and think about like what I should have. And like, I'm going to put something together. Or maybe you look at what your competitor or somebody who's doing something similar is doing. And then you think, well, that's going to work. That's working for them. So I'm going to create something similar. That is not where we want to be creating something. We want the ideas to drop in. We want to be excited. Creating something because you should create something, or trying to sell something because you think you should be selling something at the moment, that is like a total lackluster place of sales. You want to be selling from a place of, this feels so exciting. I cannot wait to put this out into the world. Everybody's been asking me for this, and I finally have the clarity around what this is going to look like. And I just like mapped the modules out in like, I don't know, 20 minutes, and I have this whole program put together. That's where we want you creating things from, not because like, well, I should probably have this and like, I'm just going to put something together. That's not what we're here for. So start thinking about, maybe there's stuff coming like off the top of your head. So if you want to put those in the chat box, please drop them in. Like, what are some of the things maybe that your one-on-one clients are asking or talking about, or maybe you're noticing a pattern. What I noticed when I was working with my one-on-one clients was that they were all asking the same thing about, how do I build out my one-on-one program? So I was having to teach on my one-on-one calls how to build out a coaching program. And I was like, this should be taught. Like, I don't want to talk about this in one-on-one. I want people who already know how to do this, and we're like refining it. We're not putting it together by scratch, right? So what I realized was I need to create a program where I teach them how to put their business together, how to manage their finances, their like business finances, how to build out a signature program, how to talk about it, how to price it, how to sell it, like the basics of how to build a coaching business or a service-based business, right? And so that's how Business Unleashed / Anti-Hustle Business School came to be. I was getting paid by my one-on-one clients, paid attention to what they're asking, and then created a program on it. So then what happened was I can change what I'm talking about in my one-on-one. So if you're bored about what you're talking about in your one-on-one program, if you are not lit up by your one-on-one clients, chances are we need to upgrade what you're doing in your one-on-one. It's not that I hate doing one-on-one. I've heard this so many times. And when clients come to me or new clients come to me and they're like, I fucking hate doing one-on-one. Okay, cool. So like, how much are you charging? Oh, I'm charging, $500 a month. Well, what would you hate one-on-one if you were getting paid $1,000 a month? Obviously, no. Literally, I can't remember anybody who said no to that. Like, and you just raise the rates, right? So like, yeah, I don't think I would still like one-on-one if I was charging $1,000 a month. All right, well, like, what if you were charging $1,500 a month, $2,000 a month? I'd fucking like it then. Yeah, because like now energetically you're matched up, you're aligned with the price point. And you're going to be talking about different things with a $2,000 a month client versus a $500 a month client. So that means your whole program needs to be refined. It means your messaging needs to be refined. It means that your energy and your being around what you're selling and your posts and what you're doing to promote this, all of that needs to be changed and refined. But it doesn't mean you hate one-on-one coaching. So if you're following along and you're feeling this, permission to join the mastermind, permission to come in. This is exactly what we're talking about in the expansion pod. So the expansion pod is for people who are making 5,000 a month and want to be moving into the 10 and 15K. And so anywhere in that, range. And maybe you've had like the higher months but your baseline is around 5K. So that's who the expansion pod really is for. So when you have these different programs, you are able to just like shift your entire business model, basically. So I also imagine that you are in this work to have a massive impact. You want to be supporting as many people as you can, getting the word out about the work that you do, talking about how you change people's relationships, change their sex lives, change and help them feel more confident in their bodies, right? I don't imagine that having only 3 people on your roster is going to be what you're imagining. So usually the people that I'm working with want to have this bigger impact. And the way that you're going to do that is to be able to reach more people, get your message out there, talking in front of more people, changing more lives, and being able to work with more people in these group programs. So I really want you to kind of start thinking about, like, imagine just the fucking massive impact you could make by serving not just your one-on-one clients, but having a group program or a community of clients who cannot wait to get on the phone with you, who cannot wait to soak up your energy and soak up what you're teaching so that they can live the life, have the business, have the body, have the relationship that they're dreaming about. What would it feel like to know that your coaching in your business is just touching so many more lives and that you're having such a bigger impact? Because this is the reality of the work that we're doing. Another big part, which I've been talking about today, is the financial growth and stability that diversifying your business model affords you. So scaling your coaching business directly correlates to increased revenue and financial stability. And by offering programs and creating different income streams, you can skyrocket your income potential way past what you can in your one-on-one. And it not only boosts your revenue, if you're doing things well, it'll boost your profit, right? So we also want to be making sure that you're looking at not just your revenue, but where you're spending your money, how you're doing all of that. We're going to be talking about that in the mastermind as well, how to really manage and implement profit first, and how to manage the money that you're making. But this is where you start to truly create more stable and predictable income flow. You start to reduce the risk of the different ups and downs and the financial fluctuations and the roller coaster ride, the income roller coaster ride that I just want to fully normalize, because everybody goes through that. And the way that I described it last week was, right, like we're building like the threshold and the minimum that we're available for. And so what happens is when you create the stable income with your one-on-one, when you're first starting out, it's like this, right? So like you're going to have a dip, totally normal. Like dips are normal at fucking every stage of business. And I just want to say that it's just that people aren't talking about it, right? But what I will say is that as you grow and get your baseline with your one-on-one coaching, that is no longer fluctuating. Then as you start to grow your business, you're going to, let's see if I can, there might be like dips, and then you're going to come up, and then maybe you like plateau and go this, and maybe like a dip, right? But like this baseline is always here. And like, then you let this roller coaster. And then what happens is the baseline starts to get higher. So now pretty soon your baseline is 10K a month. And then here's the roller coaster of like 15, 20K, and then 15K. Do you see like how this starts to happen? It's because you start to have and diversify your income stream, workshops, group programs, retreats, courses, right? Where they're just launched, or maybe they're on your website where you don't have to be involved. That's like a whole other like great way to really build your income. So let me know in the comments. Let me just check and see. I'd love to hear what your thoughts and what your comments are, and let me know how this is landing for you. What we want to be doing, and this is what I am doing with the clients who are in the mastermind, is when you are ready, let me back up. I want you to start thinking ahead. We want you to get into the habit of like this CEO mindset of where you're going. It's really easy to just see in front of you and to like have blinders on, right? But I really want you to get into the habit of thinking forward of where you want your business to go. And whether that's in 6 months to a year, and obviously much longer, right? 6 months passes by fucking fast, real fast, especially as you're trying to stabilize your income, you're trying to really nail your messaging, you're figuring out like the mindset and the embodiment piece, and like how to really own what you're doing. And you are also working through and healing lots of old stories around money and worthiness, and making lots of money and really being okay with that and owning that. Like just owning the fact that you want to be wealthy, or that you want to have more than enough money. That in and of itself is just a total mind fuck for a lot of people. I would say most people. So you're also building your business, but you're also a human. And usually my clients are also doing lots of personal development work, right? And so how are you going to hold all of this? And so 6 months flies by when you are trying to just live and heal and run this business and make more money and do all of the things, right? And so really starting to think about, I'm playing the long game. Where do I want to be in 6 months? What would I like to have in my business in the next year, in the next 2 years? This is the work that I'm doing with the clients who are at the higher level. So in the expansion pod, my one-on-one clients, right? Like, yes, we can do all of those things. And this is like a year to a year and a half and 2 years out, because we don't want to just like throw a bunch of shit out there. I mean, this is not the anti-hustle way, right? Sure, you could launch several new programs in 1 year. Have at it. I know from experience, launching, and that's if you have a team. If you don't have a team, so launching, sending out the emails, managing the Facebook and the marketing, managing your energy and your mindset around it, creating brand new content for this program, figuring out the modules, how's it going to be delivered, onboarding all of your clients. Do you see how this just gets like bigger and bigger and bigger? So that's why when you start to think forward of like, Great. We're going to layer these things on and come to a baseline, right? So like we're going to launch and figure out this is how this goes. How'd you manage your energy? What did this look like? We're going to settle, relax, let it drop in. Great. Do you want to launch something else? Like, how was that process for you? Or do you maybe do you need to fill up your one-on-one again? Do you want to launch this program again? Do you want a breather? Like, it's summer now. So do you want to have a summer off? These are things to take into consideration. And these are the questions that I'm always asking my clients. Do you want to take holidays off? Do you want to take from the middle of November until the second week of January off and not launch anything? That means that you have like basically 2 months where you're not selling anything. Make it okay. That is a lovely vacation. I feel like the world kind of shuts down from American Thanksgiving to what, the second year of January. And also, like, a lot of people didn't start really working until February. You get to run this business, but I don't want any of my clients to run themselves ragged trying to, like, oh, we're launching this brand new program. Boom, 6-week launch plan. Oh, we're going to launch this other new program. Boom, 6-week. That is a recipe for burnout. So what we're doing in the mastermind, we are evaluating your business model. We're looking at where are you right now? Where do you want to be in the next 6 months? And realistically, like, yes, we want to be setting like crazy big goals. And also there's a level where we need to be realistic about your time and your energy and your capacity and what you can hold. And do you have a team? And are you handing most of the things off to them? The answers to these questions will then inform the decisions that we're making around your business model. So we're really going to look at and assess your current business model and really look at what opportunities you have to diversify and scale your existing offers. Do you have an idea of what you want to be offering? What is the baseline revenue and profit that your one-on-one is bringing in? And maybe you do have some group programs and you need to refine those and you want to learn how to scale yourself out of them a little bit. So really breaking down each program that you have, how much money are the programs typically bringing in? What do you want them to bring in? Do we need to be offering different payment plans? Like, does it feel accessible to your community? What are the objections that you're hearing? There's a lot of stuff that we're looking at to help you really evaluate and look at where can we fill in these gaps. So really start to think, how can you assess your current business model to really start to identify different areas of growth and expansion and possibility for diversification. Okay. Also starting to think of what are some potential income streams that you could add to your existing offers that sound really fun and exciting, because that is the work that we want to be doing. We don't want to be launching from a place of, like I said, I should be selling this. I should be selling something right now. Sometimes it's uncomfortable to not be selling, but the downtime is just as important as the launch time. So when you are not selling, then you have an opportunity to nurture your community. There, you can move into a growth cycle where you're trying to bring in new people and new leads. So maybe you're getting on podcasts and maybe you're showing up in other people's groups and you're trying to build your own list. And there's just a lot of things that you can be doing other than selling from a place of panic or scarcity, right? The last part that let's see. There's a couple more things that I want to talk about. So, one thing that I really want all of you to start thinking about too is we want to be creating programs that lead into one another, that support our community along the way, and that don't just drop them off in the middle of nowhere, right? I've done this personally, so I can speak from example. When I first started Ignite, which is and we're rebranding, we're changing the program. it has become a social media marketing and storytelling program that teaches clients how to show up authentically, tell their story, use it to build the trust of their community and really connect with people on a deeper level. And then how to use social media to tell their story and get hired and make more money, right? When I created Ignite, it was strictly a program about storytelling. And so it was 6 weeks, I believe, and it didn't really fit into my business model. Like, it didn't really lead into anything. And so when I went to sell, this was like my first mastermind launch. I moved into trying to sell a mastermind after that, and it just didn't make sense for the people who had joined Ignite. Like, I feel like after a 6-week program, to try to sell them into like a 6-month mastermind after that. And like, I wasn't really clear on like what the mastermind would look like. I just kind of like threw it together. Again, why we don't just like throw shit together. And nobody signed up. And then I ended up just not doing the mastermind because like it didn't, the people who had signed up for Ignite, like that, they got what they needed. They learned how to tell their stories. But it wasn't teaching them how to build their business or like really how to use social media and their story to make money. And so it just like dropped them off. And then I had to start fresh with a new program, right? So you really want to be looking at, how can I create programs that serve my community at all different levels and that lead into one another and that make sense. And so as I started redesigning my programs, and as you start to think about this, so if we reverse engineer, let's say you have your one-on-one, right? So you have maybe like a blueprint or some sort of like methodology that you walk them through in your one-on-one. Could you create a group program based on what you do in your one-on-one? That's where Anti-Hustle Business School came in, right? So one-on-one is a like beefed up, very individualized, more advanced level of the mastermind. And the mastermind is a beefed up, more advanced level of Anti-Hustle Business School. So I've had several clients who have joined Anti-Hustle Business School multiple times and then moved into the mastermind because they used the tools and the strategies that I taught them in biz school to get hired, to work on their messaging, to build their confidence, to build their mindset. And then they were ready for the mastermind. And then ideally, there's going to be 1 or 2 people from the mastermind who are then ready to step into one-on-one coaching with me, right? This is how I want you to start thinking about your business, because it allows you to serve your clients and your community at all different levels and to take them through their entire relationship, their weight loss journey, their, I don't know, their business, if you're a business coach, right? So really starting to think about what are some things so like, let's say business coach, right? So social media marketing, sales, like having a CEO mindset and the energetics that come with that. We're starting a new course at the end of this month around money and how to hold the money and how to claim the wealth that you desire and what this looks like, right? And so, because these are all conversations that I've had with one-on-one clients, community members, people who are in my other programs. So really start to think about what would make sense, what sounds fun, and what could this potentially look like in 6 months out, 12 months out, 2 years out. And so really starting to think bigger picture. And then what you'll start to do is looking at, what do the price points need to be? So do I need to raise my one-on-one rates now, as you're starting to scale and add on these other programs? Because as you start to stack these payment plans, that's when things start to explode. And so the last part that I want to talk about, and this is all stuff that we're doing in the mastermind, in the expansion pod, and in office hours with VP as well, is as you start to create these different programs, remembering that each program has its own demographic, right? So if I were talking about my one-on-one the same way that I was talking about biz school, there is a mismatch of the programs and also the investment, right? The people who are joining my one-on-one, who are joining the mastermind, who are joining biz school, they are all at different stages of their business. They're all at different price points. They're all at different like energetic investment levels. And so the people who are joining one-on-one, they are at also the income level in their business to invest at that level. So we are having a very different conversation. I am posting very different things than the brand new coach who is not used to investing, who needs the 12-month payment plan because they don't have money coming in yet. They haven't built out their program. They're fresh and they're learning the ropes versus have one-on-one, moving into six figures and beyond, right? Different conversations. So really remembering, it is so important to learn effective marketing and positioning strategies for your ideal client for each of your programs. And this is something that I feel like a lot of people underestimate or skimp out on. And so this is something that we will hands down be working on with you in the mastermind, is how can you position yourself as the authority for each of the programs that you're creating. And it requires a different marketing message. It's going to be the same launching strategy, but it's different tactics, different verbiage, different energy, and really remembering how important that is in order to attract and find the people who need that specific program that you're selling at that time. And also remember, do not worry about leaving people out. You're going to get them with your other programs. Trust that like they can watch your free content, right? Like I can't worry about the people who are just starting out because I have spots to fill in the mastermind and that is the person that I am talking to. So I know that I have free content, other things for them. It's coming. They can catch up in my group, whatever. I am only talking to the expansion pod level person right now. So if that is you, if you were around the 5K, moving into 10K, 15K cash months, and you are looking for support, you know that it's time to diversify your business model and time to expand and grow your business and really stack those payment plans so that you can grow and scale and have those higher cash months, then let's have a conversation. The doors close on Friday. I'm calling in 2 more humans to join us in the expansion pod. So if you are on the fence or you're thinking about joining, I would love to have a conversation with you. So send me a message, hop into my DMs, wherever you want to find me. And I will talk to you then. We'll have a conversation. All right. Have a lovely day. Thanks for joining. Bye.